how do you use 7TAPS microlearning to build branching scenarios? 7TAPS is an industry-leading cloud-based tool that lets you quickly create microlearning experiences. The company recently added video uploads and branching capability to their platform, and that opens up a whole new world of opportunities. In this video, I'll show you how to use this 7TAPS branching feature to build short branching scenarios and interactive videos specifically targeted for microlearning projects. I'll break down exactly how to build a branching scenario in 7TAPS, and I'll also share 3 best practice tips for microlearning. If we're just meeting, my name is Kimberly Goh. I'm a freelance interactive video designer and an e-learning expert who specializes in creating branching scenarios for corporate clients. For those of you who are already familiar with microlearning and the 7TAPS platform, you may want to jump ahead to the section on 7TAPS branching. In the spirit of microlearning, I've divided this YouTube video into short segments that you can navigate by clicking the chapter timestamps in the description below this video. But if you're new to microlearning or 7TAPS, just keep on watching. I'll give you a brief introduction to microlearning and 7TAPS basic features before we get into the more advanced skills of branching scenario creation. And be sure to watch through to the end of this video where I'll include a bonus tip to help you make your workflow even more effective. Let's dive right in. What is microlearning? In the world of instructional design, microlearning refers to quick, focused, and bite-sized learning experiences. This is not some 2-hour e-learning course buried somewhere deep inside of an LMS. Instead, microlearning is something you can easily access exactly when you need it, often right in the middle of your workflow. In general, microlearning experiences are 10 minutes or less, although that's not a hard and fast rule. Here are a few examples of what microlearning could look like in real life. Maybe it's a short YouTube video that answers a specific question at your exact moment of need. It could be an on-the-job support tool that you access by scanning a QR code with your phone. Microlearning could also be a warm-up activity before a live training event, or perhaps a follow-up activity that's sent out after the event is finished. It might even be a short e-learning scenario or interactive video that primes the audience for a longer, more immersive learning experience, similar to how Netflix shows you a trailer to entice you to watch the main show. In other words, microlearning isn't meant to replace good quality long-form instructional content. Instead, microlearning can be used to enhance and complement that content. Okay, that's a quick overview of microlearning. Now let's talk about 7TAPS. What is 7TAPS? 7TAPS is an industry-leading cloud-based tool that lets you quickly create these kinds of microlearning experiences. All 7TAPS display in vertical format similar to stories you might see in social media. That means they're optimized for viewing on mobile phones, although they could be easily viewed on desktop computers too. The idea is you simply tap the screen to consume the content. The best way to visualize this is to see it for yourself. So let me show you how quick it is to build a microlearning experience in 7TAPS.
When you start up the 7TAPS dashboard, you'll see a demo course plus any other courses you may have created in the past. Here's how you create a brand new course. Click Create a Course and give your course a name. You can choose from several professionally designed pre-built themes. We'll change our theme to this gradient look. Next, I'll add a card to this course by clicking this card button. I want to immediately get the learner's attention, so I'll start by asking a question and adding a bit of humor. For the text, I'll write, "So what exactly is microlearning anyway?" I don't need a title on this card, so I'll turn titles off. Now I'll grab their attention with a GIF. I click the image button underneath the second card and I'll select Add GIF and search on the word What. I'll choose this funny picture of a dog. Now I'll add another card, and this time I'll only include the title Microlearning Is. And I'll turn the text off. On the fourth card, I'll turn off the titles, and then I'll answer the question with the phrase, "Quick, focused, bite-sized learning experiences." Now I'll add a picture to this card. Since I said they were bite-sized learning experiences, let's see if we can find a funny GIF that conveys that idea. I'll search on the word chips and find a GIF to add to my card. On the next card, I'll list my second point, and this time I'll add a picture from Unsplash that looks a bit more businesslike. Note that all of these GIFs and Unsplash photos are automatically integrated into 7TAPS and don't require any additional fees or attribution. Next, I'll add an audio clip that explains more about microlearning. The audio clip can be up to 60 seconds long. I'll upload a clip that's already stored on my computer. I can also upload a video clip that's up to 60 seconds long. This might be a video I shot on my iPhone of myself giving a short explanation. Or I could upload a traditional video clip that's been cropped for vertical viewing. On the free and starter plans, you're limited to 3 custom video uploads, but if you upgrade to Pro, you can upload an unlimited number of custom videos. You can also have an AI character narrate your video. Just type in the text that you want the AI to speak, select your character, and the system will automatically generate a video for you. Next, I'll add a quiz card to show you how that works. Type the question at the top of the card, then type in up to 4 possible answers to the question and select the correct answer. You can also add an optional comment that will be displayed after they choose any answer. And finally, you can add a link card with a button that connects to an external website. You can use these numbers at the bottom of the screen to navigate between the different cards. You can also use the arrows underneath each card to change the card order. If you want to add more chapters, hover over this Chapters button and choose Add New Chapter. Let's preview our 7 Taps course and see how it looks. Here's where I would include a short audio clip about microlearning.
My name is Kimberly Goh, and I'll be your instructor.
Just type the text you want me to say, and I'll narrate the video for you.
Looks good. Now we're ready to share our course. If the sharing option is off, just turn it on. And since everything is stored in the cloud, you just tap one of these buttons to instantly create a shareable link or generate a QR code. And that's it. As you can see, it's easy to create a 7 Taps microlearning course in minutes and share it with your learners.
7 Taps offers a free trial so you can test drive all of these features. I'll include a link in the description below this video. 7 Taps has some built-in smart features that encourage you to create good microlearning. For instance, originally I had 2 bullet points on this card along with the GIF. 7 Taps automatically sensed that this might impact legibility on some mobile devices and recommended that I split the text across 2 separate cards. 7 Taps also limits videos and audio clips to 60 seconds to encourage brevity. And if you try to create too many cards or too many chapters in a single course, 7 Taps will let you know. These constraints can be a good thing because they force you to prioritize what's most important and leave the rest on the cutting room floor. And this brings up our first microlearning best practice tip. Evaluate if microlearning is a good fit for your project. Microlearning can be very useful, but not every project is a good fit for a microlearning approach. In particular, it's not a good idea to chop up a 2-hour e-learning course into 5-minute chunks and then dump those chunks into 7 Taps just so you can say that you've created microlearning. Some projects, especially those that involve complex technical training or a lot of detailed graphics, are probably best deployed as a more traditional long-form e-learning course. People need time to study these subjects in depth, and there are often many accompanying graphics and charts that might need to be studied too. That kind of detailed material is probably best viewed on a desktop computer rather than in vertical format on a mobile phone. So if you find you're continually hitting those card and chapter limits, or if your SME insists you must squeeze a huge amount of information into your 7 Taps, you might want to rethink if the project is really a good fit for microlearning. One solution might be to leave the original long-form content in place and just create a 7 Taps that acts like a trailer to encourage people to watch the longer content. When we get to the branching scenarios section of this video, I'll show you an example of how I did just that. We're about to dive into how to build branching scenarios with 7 Taps. But first, if you're enjoying this video, it would mean a lot to me if you'd hit that like button. That way YouTube will share this video with even more people. Okay, now that you've got the basics, we're ready to move on to the more advanced 7 Taps features. Keep in mind that the free plan only allows you one shareable 7 Taps course. This can be a good option if you simply want to test drive the tool or perhaps create a 7TAPS demo to add to your portfolio. But if you want to share more than one 7TAPS course, you'll need to upgrade to a paid plan. There's an inexpensive monthly starter plan that lets you share an unlimited number of courses. To find out more, click the 7TAPS link in the description below. Okay, we're about to dive into building branching scenarios with 7TAPS, which brings us to an important microlearning tip. Whenever you build a microlearning project, always begin with the end in mind. Think of how people in your target audience will use this microlearning piece, when and why they might choose to access it, and what you hope that they'll do once they're finished with it. In this case, I'll start with an existing longer form piece of content called the Action Mapping Interactive Video. This animated interactive video was created to help instructional designers get started using Kathy Moore's action mapping methodology, and it was inspired by a scenario described in her book, Map It. My original interactive video has 7 decision points, 12 alternate endings, and takes about 17 minutes to play. I developed it using Beyond Animation and Storyline, and while it can be viewed on a mobile phone or desktop, some of the graphics are very detailed and are best viewed in landscape mode. So obviously, I don't want to simply recreate the whole project in 7TAPS because it would be hard for an instructional designer to see the graphics in vertical view format. But let's say that my goal is to create a short interactive video trailer in 7TAPS to help promote the longer form content. That's a great application for microlearning because it's quick to produce, easy to share via QR code, and at the end I can include a link inviting people to check out the full interactive video. Let's start by playing through the trailer so you can see how it turned out. Michelle is an instructional designer who works for a large hospital. There are plenty of requests for course development, but she's frustrated by the low levels of audience engagement. As she's searching for better solutions, she comes across Action Mapping by Kathy Moore, a streamlined approach to business training. Michelle watches a few videos about it and reads Kathy Moore's book, Map It. Just then, she receives an email from Dr. Roberts with the 200-slide PowerPoint deck attached. He wants the deck converted into an e-learning course as soon as possible. Michelle knows this might turn out to be another low engagement course that doesn't change behavior on the job. So she takes a deep breath and decides to try the action mapping approach. Michelle responds to his email by arranging a project kickoff meeting with herself, Dr. Roberts, and Stephanie, the head nurse.
We need a training course on sharp safety. Too many nurses are injuring themselves because they're making mistakes when handling needles. I sent you the PowerPoint deck we used in our live training sessions. How long would it take to turn this into an online course?
A needs analysis will help us determine project scope. Is there a specific deadline you're trying to hit?
Dr. Roberts wants the course to be ready in 2 months, so Michelle starts asking needs analysis questions right away. Then she converts the PowerPoint deck into an engaging e-learning course which is distributed to all nurses. Course completion rates are high, but nurses continue injuring themselves with sharps. 6 months later, Michelle is let go when the hospital cuts the L&D department's budget.
Thanks for the deck. It sounds like you want the number of errors to go down. Do you have a target goal in mind?
It'd be great if we could beat the hospital with the best record when the annual safety report comes out a year from now. To get that, we'd need to decrease our number of errors by 8%.
Maybe that could be the goal for this project. Errors with sharps will decrease by 8% within a year as all the staff correctly handle sharps. What do you think?
Sure, that sounds good.
Okay, now let's talk about your learning objectives. What do nurses need to know to achieve this goal?
Dr. Roberts pulls out the standard operating procedures and they spend the rest of the kickoff meeting narrowing down the list to 7 key learning objectives. Michelle converts the PowerPoint deck into an engaging e-learning course and includes a quiz at the end to ensure all learning objectives have been met. Quiz scores are very high, but the number of sharps injuries doesn't go down. 6 months later, Michelle is let go when the hospital cuts the L&D department's budget.
Great. So let's talk about what it will take to achieve that goal. What are the nurses supposed to do, and what are they doing instead?
They're supposed to follow our standard operating procedures and read the signs on the walls. The signs say what you're supposed to do if you accidentally stick yourself with a contaminated needle. But it seems like no one reads the SOPs or pays attention to those signs anymore.
I think most of the injuries are happening when the nurses recap needles.
Why do they do that?
Sometimes they do that when the sharps disposal container isn't handy. The container's supposed to be near the patient's bed, but it can end up almost anywhere.
Wow, I didn't realize that was happening. I could arrange to have the containers attached to the wall near each patient's bed. That should decrease the number of errors.
One other thing to keep in mind, branching is an advanced 7 taps feature that's available on the Pro and Enterprise plans. The advantage of upgrading to one of these plans is that you gain a lot of flexibility and additional features. For instance, you get the ability to add branching links to your cards, and you can upload an unlimited number of customized videos. You're also able to upload your own graphics, add more AI videos, plus custom themes and learning paths. You also gain access to advanced analytics and sharing methods. You can learn more about these powerful advanced features through the 7 taps link below this video. Okay, now I'm going to walk you through exactly how I built that 7 taps branching scenario.
Step 1. Plan to keep it short. To keep the trailer around 5 minutes, I only included 2 decision points from the original interactive video. For each decision, I identified only one good consequence and one bad consequence that would play out, depending on which choice the learner selected. There was a lot more information in the original video, but I left it all out. Remember, a trailer is supposed to arouse curiosity and hint at what is to come. You don't want to reveal too much, and it's a good idea to keep it short. Tip number 3. For branching scenarios, offer 2 choices per decision card. To keep it simple, I only included 2 choices on each decision screen. Remember, 7 taps limits the amount of text you can put on each card, so it's best to offer only 2 choices, or maybe 3 choices at most. If you offer 3 choices, your branching will get a lot more complicated, so if you're new to 7 taps, I'd recommend starting out with 2 choices max. Step 2. Prepare your video or graphics for upload. Next, I edit my existing video clips and graphics so they're optimized for vertical viewing on a mobile device. You can do this with a tool like Camtasia, iMovie, or any other video editing app. Another easy option is to simply shoot your video with your phone in vertical mode. This might be a video of yourself talking, or perhaps you can film other people in a scene that takes place on the job. Just keep in mind that all video clips must be under 60 seconds per card, and you'll need to be on the 7 taps Pro plan to upload an unlimited number of videos. Another option is to assemble a series of photos or graphics together with audio narration and save that as a vertical format video. Finally, the Pro plan allows you to upload your own graphics and create several AI videos per course if you'd rather have AI characters narrate your 7 taps. Step 3. Introduce the story topic and add your first decision point. To give you an idea of the trailer's structure, here's how it looks when viewed through the Manage Chapter and Cards menu. There are 11 cards in the first chapter and 10 cards in the second chapter. Generally, I follow this format: story, decision card, good consequence, and bad consequence. And once they complete the second decision, they reach this call to action card where they can either access the full interactive video or play the trailer again. Step 4. Add branching links to your first decision point. In 7 taps, all branching is handled through links. This first card is the title card, and screens 2 and 3 contain video clips that introduce the story. Card 4 contains my first decision point. It's just a regular card with text, but then I added branching links to show where I want people to go when they click that link. This second choice, confirm client objective and determine project goal, is the good decision. So I highlight the text and add a link to the good consequence, which happens to be the next video after the current card. The first choice happens to be the bad or suboptimal decision. So I highlight this text and add a link to the bad consequence, which is the fourth card after the current card, or this video here. Step 5. Add reflection points to cards to reinforce learning. After the person makes a decision and watches the consequence play out, I add a reflection point to reinforce the learning. For instance, if they make a good choice, then they see this card, which celebrates their success. All of the text on this screen links to the card labeled Later, which begins the next chapter so they can continue with the story. The reason I linked all of the text on this screen instead of just the last line is I wanted to give the learner as much opportunity as possible to click on the link. If I make the link too small, there's a good chance they may randomly click on some other area of the screen. And if they do that, they might just continue on to the next card in the sequence, which is the video for the poor consequence, and that could be confusing to the learners. Step 6. Add optional buffer cards. To prevent this from happening, I've added a second card that acts as a buffer. It specifically says, click here to find out what happens next, and is linked to the Later card as well. You don't have to add this extra buffer card, but it might be helpful just in case. Step 7. Add an optional Why Did This Happen link. After watching the bad consequence play out, in which Michelle loses her job, I offer an optional reflection point in the form of the question, why did this happen? If the learner wants to find out more, they can click this link for an explanation, and then go back and redo the decision. Kathy Moore suggests that in a scenario, it's best to plunge the learner right into the challenging decision without giving them a lot of information up front. This causes them to use their critical thinking skills instead of simply recalling a fact from short-term memory. If they make a poor choice and see a bad consequence play out, they might feel frustrated, upset, or confused, just like they might in real life. And that's a good thing because in that emotional state, they're more likely to search for real help or solutions. That's the perfect time to offer them this optional Why Did This Happen link that reveals critical information they can use the next time around. Step 8. Allow the learner to redo the decision. The best way to learn is to learn from your mistakes. That's why I like to give people the chance to redo their decisions during branching scenarios. After they make a bad decision and reach the poor ending, I give the learner the opportunity to help Michelle keep her job. This phrase is designed to awaken feelings of empathy in the learner and hopefully encourage them to stay engaged with the trailer. If they click that link, they go back to the What Now card so they can redo the first decision. Step 9. Add the second decision point. Here's the second decision. As you can see, the structure is similar to the first. Notice that I put each decision point into its own chapter so it's easy to keep track of where they are in the story. In this case, if they choose Identify the Learning Objectives, that's the poor choice, and then they'll see this poor consequence followed by an optional Why Did This Happen link and the opportunity to make a different choice. If they choose Ask What Nurses Need to Do, they see the good consequence followed by a reflection point. Step 10. Add a call to action card. Finally, when the trailer is finished, I add a call to action card. The title on this card is The Story Continues. This is a pattern interrupt that tells the learner that the trailer is over and it's time for them to take action. Hopefully by this time the trailer has done its job and they want to see the rest of the story. So the first link on this page is Get Access to the Full Action Mapping Interactive Video. This link leads to an external website where they'll have the opportunity to enter their email and get access to the full video. If they choose Play Again, that links to the scene where Dr. Roberts is speaking at the kickoff meeting right before the first decision. Finally, if they happen to randomly click somewhere else on the screen, I don't want them to immediately see the second poor consequence video. So I've added an end credits card that acts like a buffer and gives them the opportunity to play again.
Now it's time for that bonus tip. Whenever you create a branching scenario, it's a good idea to use a branching structure as your guide. When I created this branching scenario in 7 Taps, I followed a popular branching structure called Mastery Loop with alternate endings as a guide. Then I modified this structure by adding the Why Did This Happen link so I could show how that worked in this demo. There are an almost infinite number of branching structures to choose from, and some of them can be incredibly complex. That's why I created the branching structure swipe file. I wanted to have a simple format to follow whenever I created a branching scenario. The branching structure swipe file is meant to be very flexible. It isn't specifically tied to 7 Taps or any other development tool. Instead, it includes 3 of the most popular branching structures as well as some important strategies to keep in mind when you're building branching scenarios. You can download a free copy of this branching structure swipe file with the link below this video. I'll also include a link where you can get a free trial of 7 Taps Microlearning or check out the other plans to explore their more advanced features.